in the non-group market, or people who got insurance on their own, either on an Obamacare exchange or the open market and not through a job or public program. So it just coming through the exchange is what they were talking about. People who got it on their own. So if you're out there, and you need a subsidy, then you probably want to go the government route, the Obamacare exchange, and in order to get yourself taken care of, as it were. Take care of your medical needs via the government, and let the government pay for, at least subsidize a portion of it, and you will be fine. People were always talk about here, let me just go ahead and this story here from Great Britain. Yeah, there's two stories here, by the way, on illegal immigration. I got two stories here. One from Great Britain and one from the land down under, mate. Australia. We'll take the let's take the British one first. You got Cameron, British Prime Minister Cameron proposes to seize wages of illegal immigrants in Britain. Yeah, that's right. British Prime Minister David Cameron yesterday announced a proposal to seize the wages of immigrants in the country illegally, treating the money as criminal proceeds as part of a crackdown designed to reduce immigration to Britain. Grand idea. If you don't get to profit from it, why would you try to do it? But you got the lefties out there saying, no, yeah, what Cameron is trying to do is partly is to appease the right wingers in his party, for whom Europe is bad enough, but foreigner is even worse. Really? So all these countries that are now having problems with illegal immigrants, and Cameron is deciding, well, we're going to take a stand. That's bad. Europe thinks that's bad. They're having problems themselves. A lot of European nations are having problems with foreigners coming in and trying to change things within their. I mean, look, you're talking about white bread countries like Sweden and Finland and Denmark and countries like that. Well, the whole course of what they believe is being changed because they're allowing too many immigrants to come in. A lot of times they're illegal and they're staying, and they're finding a ways of being staying and causing some severe damage. And especially when you start talking Middle Eastern people that are of the Islamic faith, now they're causing all kinds of havoc. So Cameron is like, well, it's been too easy to work illegally and employ illegal workers here in England. And it's the same thing here in the United States. Can you imagine if we actually decided, okay, this is what we should do here in the U.S. when it comes to illegal immigration. Here's how we handle it. And this goes for Hillary Clinton, too, who's hired an illegal to work on her presidential campaign. Here's what you do. You make sure that you seize every asset that person has in the United States. Take it all. And you kick them out. And then, for those people who employed them, you fine them the equivalent of what they paid that person. And hey, guess what? You pay that guy over the past year $20,000, your fine is $20,000. But I paid him $20,000. Yeah, we got that $20,000. Now you're going to pay another $20,000. And let me tell you something. People will stop hiring illegals like that. When you start holding both sides accountable, you're not going to have any problems. People are going to start saying, no, go away. And if they got jobs illegally using a fake IDs or what have you, then you fine that illegal person even more. See, you'll never collect it, Rod. You take every last thing they own. Because after all, if you're a drug dealer, if you're a suspected drug dealer, we've got laws that force you to forfeit many of your assets because they believe that you got them from illegal drug sales, right? So how is it that a pot dealer or a methamphetamine dealer or a coke dealer can lose their Lamborghini, but an illegal immigrant who can do just as much damage or far more damage doesn't lose anything? And maybe they'll get deported. No. I say that if you're caught here illegally, there is no asylum. You know what? If you need asylum, you better tell us right up front. Go to the border, say, I'm seeking asylum. We'll try to take care of you then. But don't come across the border, sneak across the border illegally, be here for years and years, and then decide, okay, no, I need asylum. No, it doesn't work that way. Shipping your butt back to where you came from. And if you actually made a living here, if you were able to create an income here, we seize everything. Everything that, if you came across the border with a suitcase illegally, or with a suitcase, and you go back with that suitcase. If you came here illegally with nothing but the clothes on your back, you go back home with nothing but the clothes on your back. I know it sounds harsh to some people, and they even sound inhuman, but look, in order to preserve your own nation and make sure that people in foreign lands understand that there is a right way and a wrong way to come here, and if you break our law, there is punishment for it. You're going to be punished severely, just as if you were to enter their country illegally. They try to enter Mexico illegally and see how far you get if you get caught. If you don't get shot, you're going to end up in jail. And then once you get out of jail, if you survive jail, you're going to be immediately dropped off at the border. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. There is no asylum. I'm singing asylum, man, because the United States sucks. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah, gringo, go back home. Seriously, that's what would happen. So why do we have to be different? Well, Cameron's saying, we got some problems here with this kind of stuff. So let's not. I'm going to propose a way to put a cap on this and get a handle on this, because it's costing Britons a lot of money for illegals. Even Australians have decided to crack down. Well, this is actually a story. I'm sorry, I misspoke. This is a story about Australians cracking down on other things. Again, that are problems for the Australian people. And as England or Britain is trying to grapple with its issues of illegal immigration, and Cameron wants to get tough with them, Australia has other issues. And that's Australian-born jihadis. Now, a lot of people here think that the United States should do what Australia is about to do. And I think that that's probably a good idea. Look, because if you're out there in the battlefield and fighting against your own country, either you're a traitor, or you might as well not be a citizen. We should assume that you've renounced your citizenship to the United States. Therefore, we don't have to worry about hitting you with a drone. We'll just take you out. But here's what the Australians are going to do, plan to do. Australia to strip citizenship of Australian-born jihadis. Plan to adopt British legal model for children of immigrants. Now, Australia plans to strip citizenship from Australian-born children of immigrants who become fighters for the militant group Islamic State in Iraq and Syria. It's a crackdown on homegrown jihadis, a minister said. The government wants to change the Citizenship Act to make fighting for ISIS a reason for losing citizenship. The government also wants to adopt a British legal model by revoking the citizenship of extremists who are Australian-born children of immigrants, or an immigrant forcing them to take up citizenship in the birth country of their parents or parent. In other words, Australia's saying, we've had enough of this bull crap. You want to come here, and but you still want to be like you're over there? Well, then you better go over there because we're going to strip you of your citizenship here. And your kids, too. You know, it's kind of like, I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog, Toto, too. So, yeah, again, beautiful idea. If you're here, United States, and, you know, you're caught being an extremist like this, even in this country where you have freedom of speech, if you're caught being an extremist, kick your butt out. If strip you and your kids of naturalized citizenship and say, hey, look, you came from Syria, you came from Iran, yeah, your kids are now Iranian citizens. They're not citizens here anymore. Get the hell out. Goodbye. Don't want to see you again. Plain and simple. Not a problem. I don't have a problem with doing something like that. Look, we've got. It's not changing who we are by protecting our own, folks. But if you allow people to come here who want to do us harm and then start changing the way we live and who we are and the way we are, that's no fun. That's not right. That's not the way things are supposed to be. That's not the way that the founding fathers, believed things should be. It's just not the way things are done. So yeah, I agree. You know, shut them down, kick them out. Now that should be the new mantra. Shut them down, kick them out. Shut them down, kick them out. Shut them down, kick them out. Not hard. It really, some people say, well, you can't do that, right? It's not hard at all. Look, if the NSA can keep track of all our phone records, I'm sure they can keep track of all the illegals out there. Well, they can't keep track of all the jihadis. Why not? We're not trying hard enough then. If we can start tracking people, on their cars, how many miles they drive every month and every year and where they're driving to, then we should be able to keep track of jihadis. Anybody who comes in from the Middle East or from a suspected terrorist-filled area, maybe they should be forced to wear a tracker every time, as long as they're in the United States. Hey, look, they're not citizens. They don't get the same protections we do. You want to come here? You're coming from a dangerous country or a dangerous place? We got to keep track of you, Jack. And this is how we're going to keep track of you. We are going to, you're going to have to be monitored. We're going to follow you everywhere you go. Everywhere. No, don't get upset. We're just going to follow you everywhere. We're going to keep. Hey, look, if we're going to keep track of citizens, we might as well. Why can't we keep track of foreigners? And for those of you in Rush Limbaugh's Real Into, foreigner is my way of pronouncing, in a funny way, foreigner. Now, somebody's probably going to say, foreigner? What's a foreigner? Isn't that a plant? Hey, Ethel, isn't a foreigner a type of plant? It is. It's people. A foreigner. I just like to play around and say foreigner. It's Friday. Speaking of Friday, we're coming to the end of our broadcast week, as well as the broadcast period for tonight. We'll be back here on Tuesday, folks. Until then, have a great, safe, happy Memorial Day weekend. See you on Tuesday. I'm Rod Eccles, The Rod Eccles Show. I'm out.